Today I'm having a look at this Medicom Toys Mafex. This is number 210 in the line. This is ASOKA Tano. And this one's been a while in the works coming, and it's finally here. And I think it's a cool looking figure. I'm not quite sure if it looks exactly like Rosario Dawson, but I really do like this figure. So far it looks really cool. I mean, it's very cool, but as to whether it's an accurate likeness of Rosario, I'm not exactly sure. But I do know I like it. And here's the side art. Yep. Here's the bottom with the unpiratable Mafex quality control sticker. Here's the side art. Other side shows her with her cloak on. And here's the back with some product shots. And it comes with her two lightsabers, her Shoto lightsaber, which is a small one, and her bigger one, and two extra hilts, and her cloak. And that's about it. But I think it's going to look pretty cool. Well, let's check this out and get it open, and I'm anxious to see how good this figure is. Before we show ASOKA, let's go through some of the accessories first. Here's the Mafex multi-positional stand. It's a stock stand, but it's handy and it works really well. Here's the quality assurance pamphlet, and this tells you how to download the little app to verify that your Mafex figure is legit. And next up we have her wired cloak, and this cloak looks to be promising. It's kind of nice. It has its own little protective holder in here, so yeah, that's pretty cool. And then you've got her alternate head sculpt. Now this looks pretty good. This is the gritty looking one where she's like, looks like she's annoyed or aggressive, or yeah. Does it really look like Rosario? I don't know. To me, maybe not so much. It is very well done, though. It looks good. Yeah, I like the color on her head tails. I like the details on her forehead. Her, like, this wrap thing or whatever on her crown thing on her head looks really good. Very well painted. And the sculpt in the eyes looks good. Yeah, it's a nice head sculpt. I like this. Pretty detailed. And then you've got her lightsabers, two different ones. One's a shorter one, which is called the Shoto lightsaber, and these are like whitish colored, clearish whitish colored, with little like pointy ends on them. So you can see one is shorter, one is longer. Nice details on these. They look good. Pretty cool looking. Gold details. Just really nice details. That's cool. And then we've got two pairs of alternate lightsaber hilts. Now these particular ones have this little blocky thing on the ends. These plug into her waist, and she has a little placeholder clips there that you pull out and you pop this in so it'll securely hang on the front of her tunic, which I'll show in a minute. Then there's two alternate lightsaber hilts for a total of 4 different lightsaber hilts. And I guess the other ones don't have the plug thing on them, so you could just have them in her hands if you wanted unignited, which is kind of a weird choice. But talk about giving you a lot of lightsaber hilts. They give you a lot. And then we come to the hands. She's got all these different hands, tons of hands, force gesturing hands, lightsaber holding hands. Pretty cool. And you get a total of 12 altogether. Yep, 2 on the figure and then 5 pairs here. Pretty nice. Here's ASOKA right out of the package. And I think she looks pretty good. This is a very cool looking ASOKA. Once again, does it look like Rosario Dawson? Yes and no. I mean, I can kind of see it from some angles. It looks good. I think it kind of does. It's a yes and no situation. But is it cool? It's a very, very cool ASOKA. I mean, as far as like technically looking and everything, I mean, I really like the Hasbro version of her face sculpt on the Hasbro one, but this one has, like, I think the superior articulation and just really details. I mean, if you check out all the details on her suit, the textures, yeah, everything on this, it's just awesome. And it has like a lot of articulation points on it. Let's go through that real quick. On her head, she can look down that much. Back almost non-existent because of the head tails. Does have a little bit of tilt. Yep. She has butterfly joints, which are nice. They're pretty smooth too. Get a lot of range out of them. Yep, not bad. She does have bicep swivel. It's at the top of this wrap up here. These turn independently. Pretty nice. And then as far as articulation in the elbow, she can go just a little bit over 90, I want to say. Okay, so I'm seeing horizontal hinged on her left hand. So it definitely is horizontally hinged. It kind of moves a little bit up and down, but I think this one is horizontally hinged. This one is vertically hinged. But it seems to have more range of motion on the up and down. It's a little strange. Kind of a strange choice. But then, okay, as far as we go down to her leg, she has a drop-down mechanism, so you can pull it up and down on her leg. She can kick out that far. Like so. Yep. And it doesn't have, I guess it does have a thigh swivel. It's a different type of joint. Right up here, internally, if you hold it, see it swivels all the way around. So there is a thigh swivel, but it's kind of a weird choice. It's not a split cut. It's up at the top. So that's interesting. And then they made another interesting weird choice of how they did the split on her knees. Single joint knees that go back not that far as I can tell. Like I'm bottoming out right there. So that's kind of a weird choice. And you can see it in the back. It kind of goes up in there, but I'm not able to get that one up any further. Let's see on this one. Right out of the package. God, I don't want to break this. Yeah. Okay, so looking at it, should be able to go back that far, probably on both. My copy is really tight. Like I can't get this one up there that easy. Oh, there you go. Okay. It's pretty tight. No boot cut swivel, but it does have a toe hinge up and down and some rocker. A little bit of rocker. Yeah, it gets it, but it's pretty tight. Yeah, not much up, but it does have a sufficient amount for down and then the toe hinge. Interesting. It's kind of weird. And then at her waist, can she go side to side? Yeah, she does a good side to side motion. Forward, crunch forward about that far. Back, better. Yeah. Interesting choices on this. Her braces look really good, though, if you check out the detail. These look good. A lot of nice details on this. It's a very nice looking figure. These are all kind of like softer plastic. Interesting choices. And these are what I was talking about before, these little pegs. These are where the lightsabers would hook onto. But these pop off, which is to me is really a weird choice. These are kind of fiddly. You could lose these to the carpet monster easy, but these pop off, and the little lightsabers hilts, these plug into there, right where those are, which is kind of strange. But I guess it is what it is. Yep. It's a good ASOKA, though. I really like this one. It's actually very nice, and I think you could do a lot with this one. Is it a little bit fiddly? I think so. I think you'd have to really work at this to get it to do what you want, but I think you can, and it is workable. So here she is with her cloak on. I like this cloak, but I'm not going to lie. This thing has a particularly aggressive bendy wire, so all the way around the front, all the way around this end of the sleeves, and into the back, and the hood. And I think you can get it to shape the way you want. It doesn't look terrible on her head, but it takes a lot of futzing with to get this thing to work the way you want it. But it has a little Velcro clasp under here that pops off so you can get it on her. But putting this cloak on to get it in the shape you want is going to require some time. But the good thing about it is that the bendy wires, like I said, they're kind of aggressive. They're not real thin, so they're a little thicker, so you can actually form this thing a little bit better. But because of that, I think it would take you longer to get it to a perfect shape. But I think you can do it. Pretty sure you could do it with this cloak. I mean, it feels like an okay material. I mean, it's a nice shape. I think it works, though. It does work, but to make it look really perfect and good, you would probably have to spend quite a bit more time than I did on this. I mean, I was messing with it for a few minutes, and I'm still not happy with how it looks, but I'm not going to discount it because I think you can achieve what you want to look with this cloak, but you just have to have the time to mess with it. So there's that. But it's a nice figure. I like this figure overall. Would I recommend this? Yeah, I'd recommend it. Does it look like Rosario? Maybe 50-50. It might look more like an animated version, but it's still a nice figure. It does look good. Yep. And like I said, it's got some nice articulation. Really nice articulation. Good looking figure. Is it worth buying over the Black Series? Well, I think it might be kind of good to have both. I mean, this one is a really nice one. It is very nice. And I think she scales good with other figures. I don't have anything out here to compare it to, but I think it would scale good with other figures. So I would recommend getting this one. It is a nice figure. Very cool. All right, well, if you stuck around and watched this, I appreciate it greatly. Please give the video a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing if you would. I appreciate it greatly. Thanks again, guys. And we will catch you later. See you around. Take care, my friends. And remember, may the force be with you always.